So dear learners, in this particular video we will be discussing about the requirements management. So basically this requirement management it is the final stage of our requirement engineering process. So once the requirements have been discovered, and after that defining the requirements in an appropriate way and classifying those requirements, and finally coming up with the requirement specification document. Okay, so finally the very important task for us is how effectively we can manage the requirements. So why? Because normally for any software to be get developed, okay, so there will be n number of requirements. Requirements in the sense that they are not in a very small number, they might be in a very big numbers. Okay, so the problem here is, so these requirements will be continuously, they will be changing. So when the requirements will be get changing, that we need to manage, okay, which requirements are changing, which requirements are dependent on which requirement. Okay, so for all these things, so it is necessary to have this requirement management. Okay, so just have a look at the concept over here. So basically the requirement management, so it is the process of managing changing requirements. Okay, and when these requirements will be get changed, okay, it is most of the time during the requirement engineering process, as well as during what, the system development. So for any new software to be get developed, okay, so we used to define n number of or hundreds of different requirements that we are going to define. Okay, but during this process, most of the time what happens, so our requirements will be get changed. Okay, or even once we start our design and development, during that time also we will come to know that the requirements which have been defined in the earlier stage, so they need to be modified, or there may be some problem with that definition, there may be some error, some mistakes we might have done. Okay, so automatically we need to go back and we need to change the requirements. So this particular overall process of how these requirements are going to be get changed, okay, which requirements have been got changed, what is the effect of this on design and development. So okay, and changing one requirement, how it is going to affect the other requirements in the overall system. For all these things we are going to perform this requirement management is concerned. Okay, and apart from that, even during the system development, or even once the software is get developed and the customer will start using the software, normally it is quite natural that the new requirements will be start emerging. Is it clear? So why? Because there are many reasons because of which the new requirements will be get emerged. That's the reason that today we are not working with any software which has been developed 2-3 years or 5 years back without any modification. It's highly impossible. So why? Because once we start using the software in our any of the business process is concerned, our business process will change, our way of working nature might be get changed, the technology might be get changed. Because of all these reasons, what happens, either we may come up with to add some new requirements to be get added, or we may need to change some existing requirements. So because of all these things, the requirement management is very much essential here. Okay, and apart from that, we need to keep track of the individual requirements here. Okay, and also maintain what, the links between dependent requirements. See, always remember the most of the requirements, they are not independent. Okay, so every requirement is dependent on one or two requirements in that particular list. So it's very important task for us to what, to maintain that link, which requirement is dependent on what, which requirement. So that's the reason that in one of our previous video even we told that we are going to maintain the traceability, means we should be capable of tracing those requirements. Okay, the dependencies. Is it clear? Otherwise what happens, for today if I want to change one requirement, and if that requirement is dependent on 3 more requirements, then automatically it will affect that 3 other requirements also. So that impact we need to analyze and study. Okay, so for that we need what, an effective requirement management. And another important thing, most of our requirements that we are going to define, they are all volatile. Okay, so volatile in the sense what, they are dynamic, means frequently these requirements will be get changed. Okay, so changes are inevitable here, especially in our software development is concerned, changes are inevitable, okay, and we need to cope with those changes. We should accept those changes, and we need to manage such kind of changes which are taking place for our set of requirements here. Okay. So now, what are the reason for changing the requirements? So the very first reason, the very specific reason that we are going to discuss here, the first reason is our business and technical environment of the system. It is going to be changed. So once our software is going to be get installed, so automatically what happens? So for few days we might be using the software, and we might be working with fine, but later stages, okay, so our business process may change, our overall technical environment may get changed. So we might be changing our platform under which the software is to be get executed, or we may change our overall business process itself. So automatically the functionalities and services to be provided by the software may not be compatible with our the changed business process. So at that time we need to change the requirements. So then the second reason is the very important point here that you can observe: the people who pay for system and the users of the systems are rarely the same people. See here what is happening in nowadays. Okay, so somebody is paying for our newly developed software, and the somebody is using that software. See, most of the time here what is happening today, the end users are simply, they have been treated as the end users. They are not going to pay the money for the software to be get developed. It will be done by somewhat the management level or the organization level. Okay, but at the organization and management level, they may not be understanding clearly what exactly the end users expectations or what they exactly want. So automatically there will be a gap which is taking place. So because of that reason also, sometimes what happens, we may need to change the requirement. Then the another reason is especially the large systems usually have a diverse user community. Means the stakeholders are of different variety of stakeholders will be there, and they are having their own different sort of requirements. Their priorities will be different. Is it clear? So automatically, because of all these reasons, we may need to go forward changing our requirements. So these are the very few basic reasons for requirements changes. Okay. So just have a look at here how the requirements evolution will be done here. Okay. So means how we are going to evolve the requirement, means how our requirement will be get changed or modified here. Okay. So initially, so we will start with the initial understanding of the problem here. Okay. So based on our initial understanding, normally we used to define some set of initial requirements with our basic understanding of what exactly we are supposed to develop that particular software. But as the time lapses, you can observe in this particular diagram. Okay, so we will start understanding the system to be get developed in a better way. So when we will start understanding the system in a better way, so automatically what happens, we are going to get a new ideas, new way of the way of means viewing perspective about that particular system to be get developed, then automatically our requirements will be get changed. Okay, so this is a normal process which is going to be happen. Why? Because in the very beginning we are having a very short time. At that time we may not have understood the software to be get developed in depth. So at that time most of our requirements may be incomplete, or they might be wrong. Okay, but later when we study the overall system, overall software to be get developed, okay, its overall theme, then after better understanding we may come up with good requirements, or the requirements can be defined in a better way. At that time we may need to change our requirements. This is nothing but the requirements evolution is concerned. Okay. So now the requirements management planning, how this requirement management will be get planned here. Okay. So for that, just we need to take some of the decisions over here. Just have a look at here. The very first one is requirements identification. So in requirement identification, each requirement must be uniquely identified so that it can be cross referenced with the other requirements. Okay. So every requirement should be uniquely identified. Okay. We need to identify what is the source of that requirement, what is the purpose of that requirement, and it should be cross referenced with the other requirement for its dependency is concerned. Then the second point here is the change management process. So this is a set of activities that is going to assess the impact and cost of the changes. See, tomorrow what happens, if we are supposed to change any requirement for our existing software. Okay, if it is mandatory to change the requirement, then directly we cannot go for changing that requirement. First we need to study this, that is change management process. So here we are going to assess what is the impact of that change and what is the cost of that change. First that study should be done. Okay, if it is positive, then only we can go for what, changing those requirements. Okay, then the another point is the traceability policies. So traceability policy in the sense what, here we have already told that the requirements are dependent on each other. So here, so we need to identify the dependency is there, whether the dependency is between requirement to requirement or the dependency is there between requirement to the system design. So that kind of dependencies that we need to trace it, and we need to define a policy for that. Okay, so you have to make a traceability matrix in such a way that you should identify how one requirement is dependent on what, the another requirement. Similarly, how that requirement is dependent on what, a design. Okay, so because what happens today, if I am going to change one requirement, how it is going to affect my design. If my design is get changed, then I need to change my coding. If my coding is done changed, if modified, then automatically I should go for what, once again the testing or what, validation. So it's a continuous process. So that is why we need to define these traceability policies. Then finally, the tool support. Why? Because we are dealing with the numerous number of the requirements over here, and for the effective management of all these requirements, these changes, their identifying their dependencies and how the requirements are getting changed. For all these things, we need a support of what, the tool support. Means that there are specific software tools, that is computer aided software engineering, means case tools are available with which we can effectively manage the requirements. Okay, so this is all about what, the requirements management decisions to be taken during for the purpose of what, the planning is concerned. Okay, so moving ahead, so just have a look at here. So how the requirement change management will take place here. So initially there will be an identified problem, okay, because of which we need to change the requirement. Because if you if you want to change the requirement, then there should be some reason, there should be some problem because of which we need to what, change our requirement is what, concerned. So here just have a look at here. So our first stage of requirement change management is problem analysis and what, the change specification. So we need to analyze the problem and we need to specify what changes is to be adopted for that existing requirement. Then later we need to analyze that change analysis and costing. So suddenly we should not go for the implementation of that change. First we need to analyze that change. So how this change is to be done. If we make this modification or change requirement, then what is the cost of that? That should be get analyzed first. Okay, so if everything is okay and if it is positive, then we can go forward the actual change implementation. So here actually our change requirement will be get what, implemented. Then automatically we are going to get what, a revised requirements here. Is it clear? So this is what the requirement change management is concerned. Okay. So just have a look at this overall process here. So just now once again I will repeat. So here what we are going to do, first we are going to analyze the problem analysis and what, the change specification. Then we have to perform this change analysis and costing. Okay. So because cost is very important here, because sometimes what happens, even if we want to go for any change requirements, okay, then after changing the requirement we need to change the design. After changing the design we need to change our implementation. Once the implementation is get changed, then we need to go for once again revalidation. Means once again we have to validate or test our system. So it will be very costlier sometimes. So if it is not feasible, then sometimes we may drop the plan. So that might be taking place. So that is why this change analysis and costing is very much essential. Only after that we will go forward the actual change implementation. Okay. So this is the overall process of what, requirement change management process is concerned, and also just try to recall all these the reasons because of which our requirements are going to get changed, and because of this frequent changing of the requirements we may need to have an effective requirement management. Okay, thank you.